Our first manned mission is 2032, which is already 14 years away. So many things will change in these 14 years that who knows what kind of rockets we'll have available, what kind of systems we will have available. But there's some alternatives. So instead of sending solar panels from Earth, one idea might be to produce parts of the solar panels on Mars. So for example, just a crazy idea, you could produce plastic film on Mars and then print the solar panel electronics basically onto the panel that you've produced on Mars and cover it with a really thin transparent film. And that would reduce your import, so to say, from Earth, which is of course really expensive, would reduce it to a few % of the total weight of the solar panel. So that would be really interesting. There's the nuclear option, which I'm not necessarily a big fan of because of the public opinion of nuclear, of course, is very negative. If you don't need it, I think you shouldn't use it, but it might be necessary. But then I think especially for the first couple of missions, because it's
you'd actually fly a nuclear reactor out to Mars?
Well, not the types that we have here on Earth, but NASA has just released a really interesting study with the Los Alamos Institute on very small-scale nuclear reactors, which are basically only a heat source with a Stirling engine, so as few as possible moving components and a radiator, and using those relatively simple nuclear reactors for energy production. And that could be something that's very valuable for early-stage Mars missions. Then we don't know exactly if geothermal would be possible on Mars, but that would be very interesting. But I do believe that solar will be the way to go for a long time, and maybe a different storage method than batteries, because of course batteries will be very difficult to produce on Mars.